Hmm.
Since this morning, no, it is.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you go find us. Obviously, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and Hive. I think that's everything.
If the show suddenly disappears, it's because we have internet problems.
I'm so upset. We won't get into it because I'll just be angry about that the whole time. It's so
You're always
upsetting.
angry about something.
I'm angry about the internet. Anyways, we have movies to talk about. We haven't done a show in a while. So I wanted to pick up a couple of movies that maybe you missed that you should be watching. Right?
Sure.
Right. So we're going to start with one of my recent favorites, The Strangers.
It's one of your favorites?
I really liked this movie. The
second one?
Strangers, Chapter 2. You know, the one I really like is the very first one.
Well, it's a good movie.
So, anyways, The Strangers Chapter 2, obviously, there was a Strangers Chapter 1. Don't watch Chapter 2 without watching Chapter 1 because it directly goes into it.
Yeah, they pull a Halloween 2 where it picks up in the hospital
picks up right after.
For those that don't know, there's been, this is technically the fourth Strangers movie. There's a Strangers and there's Strangers Pray at Night. Then there's Strangers Chapter 1, Chapter 2. And there is a third one. Director Rennie Harlin, I believe is who did them. He directed all three movies already.
Yes.
So no matter
Chapter 3's coming.
And no matter how well they do or don't do, we're getting all three of them.
So we have to start here. The Strangers came out in 2008.
Yeah.
It's Liv Tyler, Scott Speedman, and it's billed as inspired by true events.
Because it's inspired by some home invasion and stuff that's happened and things like that.
And also, I was reading, it took inspiration from like the Manson people that would go into houses and just get people.
And it's one of those that's, because it's home invasion based, so even though it's a slasher flick, it's a little more grounded in reality, which is a little more terrifying.
I thought
and there's no reason behind it.
No.
So they just like, why are you here? Because you were home, or you answered the door, and whatever.
Yeah, like who?
The second movie, Pray at Night. I keep saying Pray for Night. It's essentially the same as the first movie. It's like all these movies are really
this
the same.
one is a family. This is 2018, so it's 10 years later,
Yeah.
and we're like, what? There's a new movie?
And this one, the second one was okay.
I think our experience of watching it was what made it fun.
Yeah, because we saw it at a drive-in theater at a special press screening, and they had actually people dressed as the strangers come walking out of the darkness while you're watching the big screen. Because we were at the drive-in, but we weren't in our cars. We were sitting on like this patio with couches.
Well, and there were people in their cars too. You had the option. And so they came out like from behind the screen in the woods. Yeah. And they just start walking because there's one part. Okay, so this one, there's a family road trip and they're going to this mobile home park thing. So at one point they're knocking on windows and these people come up to cars looking in the windows and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's just random people here.
And we were sitting out exposed.
Yeah, we were out on a patio area watching it.
The experience, the movie was fine, but the experience was better than the movie.
Best.
Anyway, but when I found out they were doing this trilogy, it was kind of out of left field. Yeah. And by the time we all knew it was happening, he was already filming it.
Yeah.
So he had kind of returned to his roots. And if you don't know, he actually, before doing a lot of, I think he did like the Sherlock Holmes movies and some other stuff. I believe that's the same guy. But before that, he directed one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And so this is kind of him returning to some of the horror elements. And the Strangers thing that was being billed was find out why the strangers are the strangers or who the strangers are kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which to me is a gray area because sometimes the less you know, the better.
Yeah.
I like there not being a reason for things. One of the things I loved about these is that whole aspect. And even in some of these last ones, when they asked him, why you're here, because you were home. And it's like, that's
it's like,
why terrifying
are you doing
reason.
This?
It's like, why did you kill that person? Because he was standing there. It wasn't like I wanted to rob him. I wanted an ulterior motive. So I was worried going into this that it was going to start getting too convoluted. And after we watched this first chapter, I really enjoyed chapter 1.
Yeah.
But it gave us zero information. It was essentially the same movie as the first one.
Correct. So a couple in a house, they get killed. There you go. However,
and I remember we were angry when we finished it because they're like, it didn't give us any answers.
No, because then the girl actually survives barely. And then she's in the hospital.
Which, a la Halloween 2, when Laurie Strode was in the hospital and spends most of the hospital running from Michael Myers fighting. That's kind of what this movie is initially.
Yeah.
And then it gets out into the woods. It becomes kind of a game of cat and mouse. There's some survival of not just her trying to get killed, but bears or boars or whatever she's fighting out there.
That scared the crap out of me.
A lot of people hated that. They thought it was stupid. They thought
I was just like, what's happening? Yeah. I was freaking out.
The second one does go a little over the top, but for me, it worked. I loved that it went in this insane direction.
And I like that at this point, she is like in such a state that you don't know who to trust. And I'm with her. Like, I don't trust any of these. I don't trust the people at the hospital. I don't trust the police officers. I don't trust her friends, whoever they like, the person she's called. Like, is she even talking to the girl she thinks she's talking to? Like, I don't trust anyone.
And one of the things that I found clever about this movie was it purposely tries to make you think that every person there is against her.
Yes.
And then you don't really know until that person dies or disappears. That, okay, maybe they weren't going to kill her.
But you never know, too, because when people die, they don't always die.
Like there's a character that disappears in this movie that I don't think he's come back yet, right?
Not yet.
They drove away in the car, right?
We don't know.
My theory is he's going to be the ones, because they didn't like each other, he was the creepiest one, that he's going to be the one that saves her.
Maybe.
But he could be directly involved with all these people and be exactly the thing we think it is.
This is such a creepy movie. I really liked this because it ended up being about her. I like her. She's the girl from
Riverdale, isn't she?
When we used to, what was the werewolf show with the kid and
Teen Wolf?
Teen Wolf, I think.
I didn't remember her from Teen Wolf.
I think she was the Banshee in Teen Wolf.
I think that came after I stopped watching the show.
Well, no wonder. Oh, she was in Riverdale. You're right. I'm wrong. You're right.
That's what I knew her from Riverdale.
You were correct, and I'm wrong. Anyway.
Because she was Cheryl Blossom or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Cherry Blossom. Cheryl Blossom, but it's spelled like cherry.
Because I watched Riverdale most of the seasons.
Well, you know more than I do. What am I thinking? Werewolf? Is it this movie?
Which one? No, that's not a werewolf movie. That's about addiction.
Something. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I like this girl. She's super cool. You need to watch it. And I don't know how well this one did, but like you said, it doesn't matter because Strangers Part 3 is already.
Well, I will say it didn't do as good as I hoped it would. So the first one got released. It was more of like a limited release. We watched that one at home. They sent us a screening link for it. And it did so well, they gave the second one a bigger release, and I don't think it did as well. And I don't know if that's because of the feelings from the first movie, or if it was just the movie. It's the
maybe we're finding out too much, like you said.
Well, the state of the industry anyway is weird because you never really know what's going to be successful anymore. And while I know there's a lot of people talking about, superhero fatigue and all these things, and I know those are a thing, I just don't think people are spending money at the theater like they used to. It's like it's so expensive anyway, and the industry has created a way of you wait for a couple of weeks, you can watch it at home. And I think that's a mistake. As much as I love watching things in my home theater and staying home, I think the worst thing for the industry right now, that was good for 2020 during COVID.
Yeah.
But these premium screenings of now you can pay $20 and watch a movie that's in the theaters at home, financially for families and stuff, it's fantastic. It's great. But for the industry,
for the numbers,
it's killing the theaters and everything else because now, back in the day, if you watched a movie in the theater, if you decided to wait, you had to wait almost a year or sometime before it came to.
I feel like it was 6 months.
Blu-ray, DVD. Yeah. It depends on how well the movie was doing. If it was doing well,
they keep it in there.
It kept staying in the theaters long, and then once it left theaters,
sometimes you go to the dollar theater and play there for a few months.
It could be 6 to 7 months before it hit VHS, Blu-ray, DVD, or whatever, and then you'd get digital copies. And
You'd go to Blockbuster and be like, oh.
So people would rush to the theaters. They knew if they don't see it now, it's going to be another year before they might be able to see it. Now people know if you wait 3-4 weeks, there's a chance you can rent it at home and not spend all the money on concessions and all the other stuff. And yes, I know that stuff's super expensive, but which annoys me from a whole different standpoint of now we're doing automated deals, which I love the automated aspects, but I don't think the prices should be higher when you're paying people less, less people to do the work. Because those automated things are supposed to make it easier for the consumer and in turn easier for the company, less overhead. So why are we paying more for that? But that's a whole nother argument.
Yeah, for your popcorn.
We're going to talk about Strangers again.
Anyways, gross worldwide, it said it did $48 million. And the budget was 8.5.
It wasn't a bomb. It just wasn't the success they were hoping for.
But that to me is, if you make your money back, that's a success.
You also have to look. Here's a misconception of movies too. is, yes, there's an expectation. I think this messed everything up. I don't think we should ever know what a movie makes.
Yeah,
I think that's the problem. Is there's so many people that look at films about like, oh, this movie's gonna suck because nobody went and saw it, so I'm not gonna watch it. People listen to reviewers, and I know this is probably blasphemous because I'm a reviewer, but I try to put in most of my reviews saying, well, decide for yourself. I'm really just giving you my thoughts and opinions. Now go watch it yourself and make your own decision.
This dog just
people live and breathe by Rotten Tomatoes. If it gets a bad score on Rotten Tomatoes, then oh my God, I'm not going to watch that movie.
I don't.
But the truth of the matter is, everything is so subjective. A movie I love, you could hate.
For sure.
You know, or you might love an aspect of a movie and something else. Because I hear more stories about, man, I finally watched that movie at home, and man, I don't know why everybody said that movie. It's like, I loved it. Like, well, why didn't you go see it at the theater then? Because everybody told you and you follow on the
we never do that.
I think this box office mentality of like, when you say a movie that grows $700 million is a bomb, because you're used to that, like a Marvel movie, for instance, so many of them come out and say they're a bomb because they're not in the standard of what Marvel used to make. We used to make 800 million. This time it only made 500 million.
Which is ridiculous.
Years ago, that would have been a massive success, but we look at it differently now.
Correct.
And Marvel's failing because they didn't make as much. People also aren't going to the movies. You know,
That's the other thing.
I'm not talking to the quality and argue about that. That's a different thing. It's just like another movie that I love that came out that we'll talk about in a different aspect didn't do well either. But that franchise has never done well, and so it baffles me. But it is what it is. The Strangers was awesome.
Yeah, it is. What is it still in theaters?
I don't think so.
It looks like, hold on, it's streaming on Stars.
Maybe.
Or you can pay, which you have to have a subscription, and I think on Prime you can pay for it.
Okay.
Is what I saw.
And I heard that we may get part 3 as early as January, but I'll be interested to see if they just stream it or if they go back like the first film and give it a limited release.
This dog is, first of all, the dog laid down on my feet, so I can't move. And she's snoring, so it's vibrating, and she's so loud. Yeah, it's on Stars or Prime Video. You can rent it, buy it.
I will say, too, that I know one of his plans that I kind of want to support if he actually ends up being able to pull it off. He may not get to do it because of the success or non-success, is he wanted to actually eventually release the entire 3 films as one long film.
I would go watch
and see how people could sit through that the horror and the terror of what's going on in these movies for 6 hours, you know, whatever it is, you know, and be no.
I don't have a problem with that. No intermission.
No intermission.
Oh, the bathroom break is the issue.
He wants to see if people can just marathon through all 3
I would.
films. I would try it.
I would try it. That'd be a fun, like Halloween night or something.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we'll
Anyways, check it out.
It's not much different than our marathons we do at home.
Yeah, true. All right, baby. So tell me what's coming out, or what do you want to plug, or what do you want to talk about?
I didn't pull anything up. Hold on.
All right.
I'm ill
I
prepared.
didn't either. I wasn't prepared either. I have giveaways, but
you give me a second. Ready. You can announce the giveaways if you want.
You want to start with giveaways? Let's go there then. Tell me about it. Let me pull it up.
Giveaways, we got some random good stuff. We got copies of the new Superman movie, as well as some digital copies of the Fantastic Four movie, which I also loved, and I'm not even a big Fantastic Four fan. It's not actually up yet, but we will be adding some copies of Weapons. It's another fantastic film, but it is a divisive film.
You're either going to like it or not.
Because I think it's a brilliant film, but the last act and or the reveal could affect people differently. Some 4K copies of The Corpse Bride, with the classic Tim Burton animated film, which I love as well. We got some copies of F1, which was a big surprise because it's an Apple film that everybody was surprised that they actually didn't just stream it to Apple, which it's fixing to hit Apple TV Plus.
So good.
But they did physically put a copy of it out. And Aztec Batman Clash of the Empires, the latest Elseworlds Batman animated feature, to take on a Mayan version of Batman.
I loved it.
It was a fun
But
play.
he's Aztec, not Mayan.
Well, whatever.
No, it matters.
It doesn't right now.
It does.
It's Batman.
As someone whose heritage is 89% indigenous on Indigenous Peoples Day, it matters.
Anyway, coming out tomorrow, since we're doing a show on a different day.
Yes.
Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is getting its Blu-ray 4K release. Curb Your Enthusiasm, the complete series, which that show is fantastic. I was expecting to get a copy of it, and then I just sat down, I rewatched the whole thing, and never seen it before, and then never got the copy for review, but I did enjoy watching. That's when it was annoying you because it kept playing that
I just kept hearing the music every time a new episode would start.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Fantastic Four: First Steps looks like it's getting its 4K Blu-ray release this week. Movie called Sketch. Of course, Weapons is coming out tomorrow. Back to the Future trilogy 4K release is getting come out. They're putting all three of them out individually as well as a box set. And one of my other movies I love, The Devil's Rejects, is getting a Steelbook 4K edition. And there's a bunch of other random. Oh, also She-Wolf of the SS is getting a release.
Oh,
I need that. That's
fun.
Awesome. Do you even know what that is?
Yes, I remember that trailer.
No, you remember the Rob Zombie Werewolf Woman of the SS.
Oh, then never mind.
That's inspired by Ilsa, Werewolf Woman of the She-Wolf of the Woman of that, whatever it's called.
Okay.
Which it says, I'm going to read you the synopsis for this just because I like this movie. Textbook example of Nazi exploitation in a cornerstone of 70s sexploitation cinema. Ilsa She-Wolf dramatizes the atrocities performed by a sadistic commandant at a German concentration camp. Ilsa uses male prisoners as sexual playthings and women as subject of medical torture, then brutally executes all felt unholy desire. Despite being condemned by film critics Gene Siskel as the most degenerative picture I've ever seen, a textbook for rapists and mutilation freaks, documents an orgy of violence became a runaway success, immortalizing Thorne as a grindhouse goddess, inspiring 3 sequels and a host of imitations, none of which could rival the shocking depravity of the original. So this one is not actually a werewolf film.
Okay.
But Rob Zombie's trailer in Grindhouse was Werewolf Woman of the SS, which was inspired by that.
Okay. Yes. All right. Well, coming out in theaters this weekend is the new Julia Roberts movie, After the Hunt. It's the one where you see she's some sort of college professor, and there's a student making an accusation, and craziness ensues. So that's happening. Also, Black Phone Part 2. Make sure you see Black Phone 1. Okay, don't be that guy. There's a movie also coming out called Pets on a Train, which we saw the trailer for it. I'm like, that's kind of cute and silly at the same time. The movie where Keanu Reeves is an angel, Good Fortune, also coming out in theaters. The 40th anniversary release of St. Elmo's Fire back in theaters for 40th anniversary.
It's also getting a 4K release.
Oh, okay, if you want to go see that. So there's a lot happening in theaters this weekend. So check it out.
That one right there?
This?
No, the one underneath it.
This one?
I know it's limited release, but it's a big thing to watch out because it's going to come to Netflix too.
Right, but not right now.
Well, it's limited release opening. But
well, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
It's getting a good buzz.
Is going to be in limited release, maybe near you. So if you see it, check it out. Which one?
The one that's on Netflix. Go up one more.
Okay.
That one I want to watch.
The Twists, Mr. and Mrs. Twit. So
it's a new animated. It looks like almost like it's stop motion animation. It's one I showed you the picture. I was like, I want to watch that. It's the Twits. It's an anime coming to Netflix.
Also coming out to Netflix, Who Walks in Darkness. Movie coming out, Undercover, ETA agents, all things are happening. And coming out on video demand and digital, if you care, something called The Bloody Country. It's a Mormon family on a perilous journey in the outback. That's all you need to know. But the theater is going to be busy, I hope. I hope there's a buzz.
And I will say, totally not related, but this came out last week. But it is Halloween season, so I do want to throw it out there and point it out. They just released the Nightmare on Elm Street 7 film collection on 4K. It's a box set. I don't know for sure, but I've been seeing reports that apparently you could possibly even buy digital copies of all 7 movies for $19.99 if you don't have them. But it's everything from the original Nightmare on Elm Street all the way up to Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It still bothers me that they've yet to include the remake and the Freddy vs. Jason. I get the remake a little bit, but Freddy vs. Jason, I would love to see it set because it is in continuity, because it shows everything from the previous movies and it talks about it. So I would love to have that set together. But either way,
New Nightmare is the one where he's in the real world, right?
No, that's yeah. I'm sorry.
That's the one I like.
That's when Wes Craven returned to the franchise and
she's there with her son.
Yeah, it has a lot of the actors from the original films in it. Yeah.
Okay, that's the one.
It was okay.
And I like Dream Warriors and the original.
That's my favorite version look of Freddy.
Yes, he looks really good there.
I know we're probably in the minority. I love the remake with Jackie Earle Haley. Mm-hmm. That look of Freddy because he looks like a real burn victim. He's a little creepier. That movie's a little more disturbing.
It is very.
But nothing beats the original. The original is fantastic. Anyway, I just did a marathon watching all of them. And of course we finished up with the remake and Freddy versus Jason, so we would do them all.
So fun. Anyways,
anyway,
all right. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.